The first scream the dragon ever made was not a roar of rage or conquest. It was the sound of something dying inside him. He lay crushed in the deep ravine beneath the frozen mountains, his massive body trembling as blood soaked through his cracked scales and ran into the stone. Like a dark river his wing was broken, twisted unnaturally, the bones jutting beneath torn skin. His breathing was shallow, his golden eyes once feared across kingdoms were now dim like forgotten stars. He had been born different, a dragon without flame among his kind. Fire was everything, fire was honor, fire was power, fire was belonging, but he had none. From the moment he hatched, the others stared, whispers followed him. They called him cursed, they called him weak, they called him worthless. And when the day came that dragons were meant to rise and prove themselves in the skies, he could not. No inferno burst from his throat, no blazing storm, only cold air, only silence. Was the day they turned away, not with claws, but with shame. His own brood cast him from the mountains. Let the useless one die, they said. Let nature erase the mistake. So he wandered alone, starving through endless snow, hunted by beasts and haunted by the echo of rejection. Thought death would come quickly, but fate was crueler. Men found him soldiers with iron spears and nets woven in ancient runes. They did not tremble before him. They laughed. This is the dragon from prophecy. One mocked it. Cannot even burn a torch, another sneered. They struck him again and again until his vision blurred, until his knees shattered into the earth chains, or locked around his limbs, glowing with cursed symbols that drained strength from his bones. Could not fight, he could not flee. He was dragged like a trophy through mud and ice, taken to the king. The throne hall was bright with cruel luxury, candles burned warm, while the dragon froze bleeding on marble. King approached slowly, staring down like one might stare at broken furniture. So this is the great beast, he murmured. How disappointing. Nobles laughed in disgust. A dragon without fire, a worthless monster. Dragon lifted his head, trembling, wanting to speak, wanting to scream that he did not choose this, that weakness was not sin. But no one listened. The king raised one hand. Throw it away, he commanded. Let the mountains finish what dragons could not. And so they did. Soldiers hauled him beyond the walls and cast him into the ravine. Like trash his body struck stone. His wings snapped, fully paying, swallowed him whole. They left him there. No mercy, no ending, only slow death. Beneath the sky night came cold, crept into his bones like poisoned stars, stared down indifferent. Wondered if the world would even notice when he stopped breathing. Maybe the silence would finally be peace. And footsteps came, soft, careful, unarmored. The dragon tensed, expecting another spear, another cruel laugh. When he opened his eyes, he saw only a child, a girl no older than 12, wrapped in a torn cloak, holding a small bundle of bread. Her face was thin, her cheeks streaked with dirt, but her eyes held something unfamiliar, not hatred, not fear, just sadness. She climbed down, slowly slipping on loose stone, until she stood before his enormous head. Her hands trembled, but she did not run. She stared at his chains, at the blood, at the shattered wing. They did this to you, she whispered. The dragon exhaled weakly. She knelt beside him. Then she reached out. Her fingers touched his scales gently, like touching the surface of a wounded dream. You are real, she breathed. Bread near his mouth. I do not have much, but you should not die here. Pride screamed inside him to refuse, but hunger and pain were stronger. Slowly he ate. Tears filled the girl's eyes. My name is Alara, she said. I ran away from the castle. The dragon blinked. Slowly, why would a human child run away? Alara swallowed hard. Killed my mother, she whispered. They called her a traitor, and they told me I was nothing but cursed bloods. So I left. She looked up at him. And now I found you, two broken things, abandoned by the world. She pressed her forehead against his scales. You are not a monster, she whispered. You are just lonely. Something inside the dragon cracked open. No dragon had ever touched him with kindness. No one had ever spoken to him as if he mattered. Days Past Alara returned again and again. She brought water. Herbs, cloth stolen from healer huts. She spoke stories beside his resting body. About her mother singing by candlelight, about dreams of flying beyond cruelty. The dragon listened in silence, and for the first time since hatching, he waited for someone. He waited for her footsteps one evening. She examined the glowing runes on his chains. These are not just restraints, she murmured. They are draining youth. Dragon flinch at Alara traced the symbols carefully. Wanted you to die slowly, she whispered angrily. She clenched her fists, no, not anymore. That night, she returned with a hammer her hands. Shaking, this will hurt, she whispered. The dragon closed his eyes. The first strike burned the rune violently scorching. Her palm she cried out, but kept going. Again. Blood ran down her fingers finally. With one last desperate blow, the chain shattered. Dark energy exploded outward, throwing her back. Dragon screamed, not from pain, from awakening something deep in his chest. Surged. The curse snapped like glass. His breathing grew stronger. His heart thundered. Alara lay gasping, her hand blistered, but she smiled. You are free, she whispered. The dragon lowered his head toward Heron. That moment he understood she had chosen him, not for power, not for fear, for love. Weeks passed. His wounds began to heal slowly, painfully. His wing remained damaged, but he could stand. Alara built a shelter inside a cave nearby. They survived together until the kingdom noticed a hunter found broken chains. A shepherd saw smoke. Whispers reached the king. The dragon still lives. The king's eyes darkened. Then, finish it, he commanded. An army marched into the mountains, torches burning against snow, steel humming with death. Alara heard the drums first echoing. Like doom, she ran into the cave, trembling. They are coming. Dragon rose, but his body was still weak. He could not fly. He could not breathe fire. Could not fight an army. Alara grabbed his face. Run, she begged. There was nowhere. The soldiers arrived at dawn, surrounding the ravine. The captain shouted, beast, by order of the king you will die. Todiela stepped forward. Leave him alone. Laughter erupted. A child defending a dragon. The captain narrowed his eyes. You are the runaway girl, the traitor's blood. Alara went pale. You killed my mother, she whispered. The captain smirked. She begged for mercy.